Number 3, love's benefits. It says in verses 7 and 8, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things, and love never ends. How many of you are a fan of the Olympics? No, they're coming up. They're exciting. In fact, I'm really sad. I heard that they can't have anybody view the Olympics this year in person, which is just heartbreaking. But the Olympics are amazing. And one of my most favorite things to watch on the Olympics is track and field. How many of you are track and field fans? I tell you what, sometimes I just envision that I'm out there running with them, and that I'm that good that I'd be like, oh, I wonder what it'd be like if I was putting my fingers on that line, and if I'd, as soon as they say go, if I'd mess up, and we'd have to do it again, and I think all these things through. When I started showing my son, I was like, listen, we're going to go on YouTube, and we're going to watch the highlights from the trials right now, and I want you to see how fast these guys are. And poor Javen, right before COVID, he made it on the track team at school, and then he never got to do track because COVID hit and they didn't have anything. So I'm like, well, let's watch it. You're going to love it. And so we're watching the guys and the girls, all different races, and he was blown away by how fast these men and women can run. And I was like, dude, it's amazing. In fact, if you were there in person, I think you'd be in shock at how fast they go by you. It's amazing. Well, one of my most favorite memories of the Olympics took place in 1992 in Barcelona. There was a young man named Derek, and he was from Great Britain. His name was Derek Redmond. Derek was actually the 400-meter record holder in Great Britain. And he came to Barcelona, and I wish I could show you the clip, but they always take our video down when we show clips. So he's at this race, and the stands are packed. And he is the favorite to win, the favorite. And so you know how they put a shadow on the runner they want you to watch because they're going so fast, they shadow him? So when you're watching this video, they put a shadow on him, and he starts to run. And he is so far out in the 400 meters ahead of everybody else. And then all of a sudden, about 200 meters into the 400 meters, he falls, like completely falls down. He tore his hamstring. It tore. I have never tore a hamstring in my life, but I can imagine if a grown man who has trained his whole life to be in this race fell down, it has to be painful. He falls down. You can hear in the audio the entire stadium just gasp because the favorite has gone down and everybody else is still running. All of a sudden, he gets up. He is sobbing in pain. He gets up, and he starts to hobble, with that one leg hobble. He is still 200 meters away from the finish line, hobbling by himself. And all of a sudden, everybody in the stands starts standing up, and they're like, this is amazing. They're cheering him on. The next thing you see is a man running onto the field in a T-shirt. And he goes and he grabs him. And all of a sudden, one of the reporters says, that's his dad. And his dad goes and picks him up and puts his arm around him. And he helps his son 200 meters to get to that finish line. And he says, I am not going to let you stop right now. We're going to get you all the way to the end. All the way. In fact, if you watch the video, you will see 2 different security guys come running up, trying to tell the dad he has to get off the thing, and the dad is like, get away. Literally, the dad's like, get your hands off of him. He's my son. I'm taking him to the end. We're going. So now when you leave, you need to go and watch it because it's amazing. In fact, I watched it yesterday, and I was crying because it's so powerful. And the dad just picks him up, and he takes him to the finish line. Derek's father was not going to let him go at it alone. He trained his whole life for this. His dad covered him. His dad believed in him. His dad had hope in him. And his dad endured with him till the very end. These are the benefits of love in the church.